Okay, maybe it's not about rating, it's about getting a meaty game. Quanta. Okay, this guy, wasn't that a tough game before? In the Winawer? Play another Winawer. Seems to remember. Tough game. Yes, he's the one just wanting to use Queen A5 here. I'll give him pawns if he wants. I can afford to play that. He's playing this again against me. Is it going to be with venomous innovation? I just like knight G5. It looks like a fun move to play. He's ruled it out. What? Is he listening to this commentary somehow? Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. What's this bishop doing on A5 anyway? Couldn't I just play C4 and bishop D2 or something? C4. In fact, that diagonal's weak as well. For bishop E4, that'll be winning straight away. Can I just play C4 here? What does he do against C4 anyway? Otherwise there's Queen E2 threatening Queen E4. I think I'll play C4. This is all a bit slow, isn't it? If I can open up the position, he's got lots of... Let's play pawn move here, pawn move here. Just open up the position. His king's still in the centre. So bishop D2 has got Queen A4, unfortunately. What about just D5, just rip open the centre? D takes and Queen D6. Queen D6, you know, he's weakening E6. I mean, this pawn move is not helping his development. So if I just take in Queen D6 and this D6, I think I'll keep it open with take and Queen D6. That's bishop D2 worth a punt at any point. It stops him casting to play Queen D6 anyway. So, bishop D2 is useful, but the queen can go to B5 as well. Right, is there any tactic here? Bishop G5 takes knight G5. Bishop G5 actually could be useful. Takes Queen E6. Sort of king hunt. He protects it with knight C6. Bishop E7. Can't get to E6 any other way. Can I? Bishop D2 has always got Queen A4. If I play A4, it's got Queen C3. So maybe it's the time to play Bishop D2 here. C3. Actually, couldn't I play Bishop G5? And then, if he plays Knight C6, couldn't I just get the rook out for E4 to F4? And he takes Knight E6. Get this rook to E4 rapidly. I mean, I'll go for it. Mind you, after Knight C6, he is threatening to play Rook D8 now. What am I doing? It's got Rook D8 on the cards. So if I go back to Bishop D2, he's got C3 and then Rook D8, trapping the Queen almost. I think he's got a point here then. I played this all wrong. It looks grim now. So if I play Bishop E7 anyway, trying to... I don't know, what does Bishop E7 do? Knight E7... rook d1, threatening to just double take on, I mean, d8 if he plays that. So I could play rook d1 as I'm gonna. If I use this rook, I won't lose a3 anyway. So rook d1. How can this knight participate? So I've got the option of queen d8. Maybe queen c7. Does queen c7? If I don't want to give up queen for 2 rooks. So queen c7 and rook d7 if given the chance, maybe. What is he going to do? He's going to bring his queen in. Ah. What about queen c7 here? He could perpetually harass my queen as an option, but does he want to do that? Otherwise I get rook d7 in. I'll play queen c7. Into the knight h4 to g6 or something. Back row though. Maybe h4 first. No, h3, then knight h4 to g6. Oh, he's giving my queen actually a route to e4 here. If I want it. Route to e4. So this king f7 turned out to be really good, didn't it? Protecting e6. Okay, so h3 and okay, it's on c2. I can play queen e4. Carry on with queen e4. I don't want to lose c2. There's rook d6. Why not rook d6 actually, if I get the chance? But he's probably going to take on d1 now. Giving me a d file though, queen a3. Bit greedy for rook d7s, but my back row's weak all the time. I need to play a move like h3 or something, or h4. So he's a pawn up, or more than pawn up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On pawn captures, there's 2, and there's only 1 that's been captured here. 2, okay. That's another way of looking at it. Just on the side. Okay. So rook d6 might be useful. If I can get e5 for a knight, that would be quite good, maybe. If he takes on d1, takes on a3, I can look forward to rook d7. I can play h3 and try and. It gives me the active rook on the d file anyway. Does he really want to play rook d1? Queen c6, let's have a quick look at that. Maybe queen f4 check and rook d6 again. Attacking the queen, rook d6 ed. Knight f5. Rook d1. Rook ad1, I mean. So that's interesting. Queen c6, queen f4. Okay. Well, it's rook d6 here anyway. Puts a little bit of pressure, I think, on him. On e6 anyway. Threatening rook e6. Might be back in the game a bit. Rook d6 would be a disaster actually. I was just taking Queen e6, picking up the rook for the knight moves. So this looks nice, this central queen anyway, as well as protecting c2. This looks good, this rook d6. I want to play maybe h4, give my king some air to be able to play rook d1 later. Okay, why isn't rook e6 possible? Is there stronger? What about rook d1, exchange sack? Actually then d7 would be good, if rook e8. Rook d1 is worth considering, because rook e6 I'm giving them play. If I lose the exchange instead, I'm on e6. And I get a big knight on e5. There's no back row tactic just yet. Yeah, I think I'll play rook d1 for a laugh. Because rook e6, there's rook. I don't know, I just don't like taking. Maybe I should have taken. I don't know. It's just I want to get this e5 for the knight anyway. I want to get pressure on e6 with the queen, not an artificial looking rook on e6 and giving him the d file. So I can get knight e5 in. Say queen d7, knight e5. That might be tasty. So rook d6, no, knight d6 ed, there's queen d7, there's knight e5 with a bit of pressure, big pass pawn. Potential frontal pressure on e6. Okay, he's not accepting that exchange sack. I can force it with g4. Force him to take that exchange sack. He's got rook c6 though. g4 takes. Rook c6. That's d7. Rook takes check, winning the queen. Is queen c4 here? Getting a pawn back. Knight d6, so I'm losing the exchange. This is queen b5 in that line. Queen c4, knight d6, ed. Rook c6, queen b5. Oh, I'll go for that. So I'm getting a pawn back. Just losing the exchange instead. So knight d6 ed, saying rook c6 queen b5 pin. Is that annoying? Maybe just plays a6. That's a shame. Go back to f4 to protect d6. Look forward to knight e5. If he ever takes, maybe there's queen f7. That's interesting. So let's have a look at that again. Knight d6 ed, rook c6 queen f4, queen d7 knight e5. In that position, queen d6 queen f7, with maybe a draw or something. So this knight coming to e5 could rescue the situation, even if d6 is lost. I'm also threatening just rook d8 here, rook d8, queen e8, queen e6. No, back row issue again. Okay. So he's going to play rook c6, queen f4, queen d7, knight e5. Okay, knight e5 here is the move I want to play anyway. Queen f5, f4, and there's a huge knight on e5. Stops rook c6's. and sorts out my back row issue. So play f4, rook f8, maybe d7. Well, that's the kind of huge knight I like. That's compensation for the exchange. I have g5 trying to undermine the knight. What about g4, queen f6? Oh, blimey. Queen f1, desperate. I lose c2. Queen b5, queen f4. There's nothing there, is there? Queen e2. Let's just go back to e2. I think I'll do that, because queen f1 is queen c2. Queen b5, queen c2. Oh, I think I'll do this. Go back to e2. Queen's kind of central. So h3, just d7, h3, I think. Finally, rook f1, there's queen d4. What about stopping queen d4s with c3? There's rook c5 coming up. So rook f1, queen d4. Knight g6 for knight e7. That might win back the exchange straight up off the bat. Actually, there's also queen e6 after that. There's no queen d4 here, so knight g6. No queen d4, knight g6. I'm on e6. Try and win back my material with advantage. So queen f6, knight e7. Queen f5, he loses the queen for knight e7. So queen f6, knight e7. King moves. Knight takes c8, rook takes c8. d7, rook d8. Queen c4. Bit of pawn up. Pawn on d7. Slight issue with the back row, maybe. Gonna win back the exchange. Or d7 or anything better. I don't think there's anything better than knight e7. There's no queen e7, there's no back row issue. Actually, king h7, there might be queen e4. Doesn't do much. King h8, I don't think that does much. Well, it's worth checking out. Queen e4 creates a weakness. g6. King h8. Is it really worth playing? I don't think so. I think queen e4, king h8, there's nothing there, absolutely nothing there. So I do want to take on c8. Alright. I want to play d7 here. It looks again logical to take on c4. So I'm actually pawn up after all this. I've still got queen e4 to look forward to if I need it. Queen d3 to protect the pawn with check, maybe c4, c5, bring up this pawn, and it's a pass pawn, new pass pawn in position. So queen d3 and c4. Is it worth playing anything better here? Queen e4 and c4. Queen d3 has the advantage of starting f1. I think queen d3 and h3 just to, mind you, a nice blockade. Queen e4 and h3 to attack the pawn, then queen d5. Queen G6 and Queen E5. Oh dear. Can I just take in C4? King F6, C5, King E6, C6, winning. That looks to be winning. Takes King G6, C4, King F6, C5, King E7, C6. I'll do this. If he moves the pawn, I'll just King F2. It's another nice game with this guy. I've had the most exciting games with this guy, Quanta. I think I had another nice game before. So King F2 here just to stop that, to avoid the rook being distracted. He's resigned. So I'm back to 2-1, 2-8 now. That was a fun game. But he's playing this odd line with Queen A5. So I've overestimated the position here. After King F7 he seems to be perfectly okay. There's no entry points for the pieces. Bishop's not particularly effective. Try and generate some dynamism. He ignores it. Good position. So somehow, okay, he doesn't accept the exchange attack straight away. But when he does, I'm able to soon after get back the exchange with advantage. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks so much.